Vinod Kumar joins us with more from Dubai. Vinod, good morning. Now, this is the big news we're tracking at DD India this hour. A new text of the COP20 presidency was released. The final climate deal was released, and it, for the first time, pushes the nation to transition away from fossil fuels in energy system. Now, this is to be done in a just, orderly and equitable manner. Can we get more details from you on this? After much wrangling, finally, the mention of fossil fuels has been included in the declaration or the proposed text of the final climate deal.
Hi, Preeti. Yes, the first draft was released yesterday, and it was met with huge opposition from the LMDs, the like-minded developed countries, the least developed countries, and the global south, which is constituted in the COP28 as G77. After much of wrangling in the early wee hours of today, the Wednesday, early morning, the second draft was released. So the main objection against the first draft was on the para 39, which mentioned reduction in consumption and production of fossil fuels. So in the new draft, the demand was for to completely phase out the consumption of fossil fuels, but it is written that it does not have a commitment to phase out, but it calls on countries to contribute global efforts onto transitioning away from fossil fuels in the energy system in a just, orderly and equitable manner. This is the main contention article. But I feel that this is actually a middle ground between completely phasing away and completely, I'm just mentioning as a reduction. And the first draft, there was no commitment. It was only a could. The document, the word could was highly criticized. So this is a better wording, and there is a clear definition of climate finance here. And regarding coal also, the first document, it was written as completely phasing out of coal, but here it's a mid meltdown, probably because of India's intervention. Second, the document also experts on immediate attention to the climate finance. This is also one of the points that India has raised. Common but differential responsibilities has to be made its own place in the new document. Because as we know that we are not one of the historical emitters. The global south is not one of the historical emitters. So like the loss and damage fund which was instituted in this particular COP, the common but differential responsibilities has to be given. So in the second document, the word equity comes frequently. Equity on climate justice and equity on the justice and the climate front for the countries which are at the receiving end of the climate change definitely has to be given priority. And tackling climate finance on developed nations, mobilizing climate finance on a broader array of sources. Currently, we have a set of funds called our Adaptation Fund, the Global GCF Fund, the Least Developed Countries Fund. But how these coffers of these funds are being filled? A big question that has been raised in this COP, and this the second draft. This is still a second draft only. It has not been signed. Again, there will be discussion. And COP28, as you know, is based on consensus of these 200 countries. So if these 200 countries come to a consensus on the broader array of social needs funds, definitely we can see the way forward that the funding will be real. India, our Prime Minister has made a call that this climate finance system needs not only millions or billions, it might even need trillions of dollars in the coming future. So a broader array of sources is definitely a welcome move. And the second document clearly mentions reinforcing policies and regulations in support of low carbon emission systems and phasing out inefficient fossil fuel subsidies. This was actually mentioned in the first draft as well in the para 39. So yes, definitely this needs much more discussion beyond the COP. The discussions will go to the World Trade Organization as well. Maybe in the second round of plenary of the World Trade Organization, we can see more discussions on that. So the main paragraph of this 21-page document, these are the major highlights. There are wordings across this 21-page document, which more updates will be given later.
All right. So that was about the modifications, but also you mentioned about India's intervention. Can we get more from you about India's role at COP28? Because climate resilient development in the Indian Himalayan region was discussed at the Indian side event at COP28, and also India as a developing nation has also put forth the targets of clean energy, green energy. Let us understand more from you as to what role India played at COP28.
India has made 2-3 very novel initiatives. We already have an initiative called, we already have a mechanism called the Carbon Development Mechanism, carbon trading. India in this COP had made a new mechanism called the Green Credit Initiative. This Green Credit Initiative is a radical shift away from the commercially minded carbon credit mechanism to a system in which organizations, local body organizations, and even individuals are encouraged to create greenery in the society, create systems and policies and methods, micro methods to make sure that carbon is sequestrated. This is the core of the green credit mechanism. And the second intervention that India has done at COP28 is the lead IT, leadership in industry transition. Currently, we know that in the COP and the UNFCCC mechanism, we have the Santiago network for transitioning, giving technology transition from the developed countries to the developing countries. On the same line, India and Sweden joined forces together to develop a novel mechanism so that big, heavy emitting industries like steel and coal, like smelting industries, which needs a lot of energy, has to be transitioned away into green and renewable energy systems, with creating efficiency in each and every layer of the supply chain, be it in technology, be it in how you smelt the coal, be it how you grease the engine, be it how you source the efficiency parameters, be it how you do the supercritical technology in the boiler. So this is one main initiative India joined forces with Sweden, so that the global south, the G77 countries. When we say G77, it's not only 77 countries; it is 135 developing countries. So that these countries get the most advanced efficiency systems. These are the two main things India alone made in COP28. Apart from that, India joined hands with the LMDC countries, the island countries, and the main focus point of India at COP28 was we emphasized on CBDR principles, common but differentiated responsibilities, because we have to have. We are a developing country. We need climate justice. We need climate equity. We were not one of the historical polluters. The historical polluters were the developing countries of the Europe 200 years back, particularly Germany or Italy or even United States. So India re-emphasized that CBDRC principles had to be given top priority in this COP28, and the rewording of the second document clearly says that is a diplomatic win for India.
All right, Vinod, we'll leave it here. Thank you for joining on and explaining to us the modifications that have been made at COP28.